Hey everybody, this is Demia Avery of the Demia Avery Show. So this is the second half of my video. This is the defense opening statement for the Diddy trial day one. And I'm just going to go over it. If you haven't seen the first one, make sure you go back and check that one out. So here we go. The attorney's name for Diddy's last name is Garagos. All right, so Garagos begins saying, Sean Combs is a complicated man, but this is not a complicated case. The case is about love, jealousy, infidelity, and money. This case is about voluntary adult choices made by capable adults in consensual relationships. At a time when everything in government can feel so uncertain, one thing remains the same. The one thing standing between all of us and criminal conviction is a jury of our peers. There has been a tremendous amount of noise around the case over the last year. It is a time to cancel the noise and hear and see the evidence presented in this courtroom, and it will be crystal clear. You will see them put on a performance, high on ecstasy, while they pretend to enjoy themselves because that's what the defendant said she wanted. Standing in this courtroom at 55 years old in the same place he was born and raised, he's going by the same name he was born with, Sean Combs. Garrigo says this is about private personal Smex's life, which has nothing to do with his lawful businesses. The people who will take the stand will say that they knew nothing about any enterprise. That's because these hardworking individuals were doing their jobs, running his businesses. She goes on to say that Diddy takes full responsibility for acts of domestic violence in this case, but domestic violence is not Smex's trafficking. Domestic violence is a very serious matter. It is bad and an illegal problem. We take full responsibility that there was domestic violence in this case. Domestic violence is not Smex's trafficking. I want to say it again. Domestic violence is not Smex's trafficking. Had he been charged with domestic violence or assault, we would not be here right now. Sean Combs has a temper, and when he drank and took the wrong drugs, he got violent. My client is not proud of that. Sean Combs has a bad temper, and sometimes when he gets so angry or jealous, he sometimes gets out of control. Garagos went on to say that there may be points in the trial where jurors think that Combs is a jerk or he's mean. He's not charged with being a jerk or being mean. He's charged with running a criminal enterprise, she said. In her opening statement, defense attorney Garagos referenced the massive amount of baby oil that was seized by law enforcement searching Diddy's home last year. She says, "You may know of his love of baby oil. Is that a federal crime? No. Prosecutors guys, I lost my. Prosecutors allege Combs used baby oil during what he called freak offs or elaborate Smex performances, in which he allegedly drugged and coerced victims into extending Smex acts with male Smex workers. In court today, Garrigo says Combs would be accountable for these things he did, but we will fight for his freedom for the things he did not do, she says. Garagos tells the jury that they will hear evidence of Combs' sexual preferences and it may make them uncomfortable. She says the events in the hotel rooms were part of a swingers lifestyle, which she describes as a fancier term for a threesome. But you are not here to judge him for his sexual preferences, she tells the jury. The attorney goes on to say she brought up the 2016 hotel surveillance video in which Diddy is seen physically assaulting his then girlfriend Cassie. That day, unfortunately, jealousy was on full display, Garrigo said, adding that Combs had taken bad drugs. What Combs did to Cassie on this videotape is indefensible. It's horrible. It's dehumanizing. It's violent. It's virtually every bad word you can think of. It is not evidence of sex trafficking, she said. It is evidence of domestic violence. I'm not justifying the assault, not by a long shot, but I am putting it in the proper context, she said. In 2018, Cassie Ventura saw a gossip site posting about Diddy walking out of a hotel room with another woman and decided to end things, his attorney said. She made a choice every single day for years, a choice to stay with him, a choice to fight for him, because for, 11 years, that was the better choice. That was her preferred choice. She made the choice to stay with him until one day she decided she was going to break up with him because that was her preferred choice. When she made that decision to leave, there was no repercussions as the government hinted. She made the choice to leave. She communicated it to him and ran into the arms of another man, the physical trainer Combs had hired to train her. She goes on to say Ventura left the relationship on her terms. The end of the relationship between Cassie and Combs is important. She left on her terms, her choices, and for the reasons that, for her, were the right reasons. Garagos said that Ventura was a willing participant in their SMEX life. This was a voluntary adult choice by two capable adults. The defense attorney said the videos of the freak-offs are intimate and jurors may find them hard to watch, but argued they are strong evidence that the events were consensual and not based on coercion. Gergos said that Jane willingly participated in hotel nights with Diddy Combs for 3 years. She tried many times to change the tenure of their relationship to something deeper or more meaningful, but it always came back to what they would call parties, these nights in the hotel rooms. Um, Combs' attorney went on to say that Jane was driven by jealousy. If she walked away, she would have lost him, and that is not something she was willing to do. Garagos described Jane and Combs' relationship as toxic and dysfunctional. She said Jane traveled to see Combs many times and continued to engage in the freak-offs even after the phone call in 2023. Being a willing participant in your own SMEX life is not SMEX trafficking, she said. Garagos ended her opening statements by urging jurors to consider motive as they hear testimony during the trial of Diddy Combs. She referenced one of Combs' employees who prosecutors earlier said Combs sexually abused. She encouraged the jury to look closely at the real-time communications. Everybody who testifies has a motive. Garagos also questioned why none of Combs' employees reported the workplace allegations that have come up in this case until now. For many of them, the answer is simple: money, she said. All right, guys. So that's it for right now. Those are the opening statements. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye.